Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Forrester and Logan clans' lives were once again upended in the heart of Los Angeles, where fashion empires fought and family secrets boiled like the California heat. Deacon Sharp stood in the dimly illuminated interior of Il Giardino, his restaurant, which had experienced more drama than most soap operas combined. His hands trembled slightly as he confronted Sheila Carter, his greatest passion but also his most perilous entanglement. The air between them was thick with unspoken regrets and the weight of years marked by chaos, love, and betrayal. Deacon's eyes, which had previously sparkled with the roguish charm that had won so many hearts, now bore a grim determination. "Sheila, we've been dancing around this for too long," he remarked quietly but firmly. "This marriage, it's not working. It's never really worked the way we both deserved." Sheila's face, etched with the lines of a life lived on the edge, hardened at first, then softened into something fragile that few saw. She had fought tooth and nail for this man, hoping for a shot at redemption that was always just out of reach. Her prosthetic toe, a reminder of previous extremes, tapped uncomfortably on the floor while she pondered his remarks. Across town, Hope Logan Spencer paced back and forth in her sleek design studio at Forrester Creations. Her mind raced with worry about her father. Hope, the idealistic daughter of Brooke Logan and the resilient kid of Deacon Sharp, has always served as a bridge between worlds. She was fully aware of her father's history, the setbacks, the comebacks, and the times when he attempted to turn his life around only to be drawn back into the vortex of Sheila's influence. When Hope learned that Deacon and Sheila were finally facing the end of their turbulent relationship, she felt a wave of protectiveness. She grabbed her bag and walked out, determined to stand by the man who, despite everything, had always tried to be there for her, although in his flawed manner. Meanwhile, Sheila and Deacon's chat progressed like a slow-burning fire. Sheila leaned against the bar, her distinctive red lipstick pushed into a tiny line. "You think I don't know what's really going on here, Deacon? You've been pulling away for months. Those stolen glances, the excuses to be anywhere but home. It's Taylor, isn't it?" Deacon said. Instead, he gave a hesitant nod, the admission hanging between them like a guillotine.
"Yes, Sheila.
It's Taylor. I love her. She's steady. She's the kind of future I never thought I could have after all the messes I've made." The words wounded Sheila like a punch. She'd constructed her existence around Deacon, convinced that their shared darkness made them unbreakable. But now, confronted with the truth, she witnessed the fissures spread into chasms. Hope came at Il Giardino just as the tension rose. She rushed through the doors, her gorgeous yet utilitarian clothing contrasting with the restaurant's warm, Italian-inspired decor. "Dad," she shouted out, breaking the silence. Sheila turned, her eyes tightening as she saw her stepdaughter. Hope had never been hesitant about her distaste of Sheila, seeing her as a negative influence in Deacon's life. But tonight, it wasn't Sheila who caught Hope's instant attention. It was the larger circle of judgment, which appeared poised to pounce on her father. "Deacon, you can't do this to me," Sheila begged, her voice quivering for the first time in what seemed like ages. She reached out, her hand hanging near, but not touching his arm. "We've survived worse. The shootings, the schemes, the way the world turned against us. I saved you more times than I can count. Doesn't that mean something?" Deacon sighed, stroking the back of his neck. He remembered the fire, the risks they had faced together, and how Sheila's intense loyalty had both shielded and threatened him. But love was more than just survival. It was tranquility, and Taylor Hayes had seen a version of himself that wasn't always looking over his shoulder. Hope came forward, acting as a shield for her father. "Sheila, this isn't about attacking Dad. He's been through enough. Everyone in this town has an opinion about him, Brooke, Ridge, Steffi, the whole Forrester crew. But he's trying to do what's right for once. If he wants a chance with Taylor, who are we to stand in the way?" Her words were measured, but there was an undercurrent of iron. Hope had a complicated relationship with Taylor's family, particularly tensions with Steffi Forrester. Defending Deacon meant risking new confrontations, but she was deeply committed to her family. Sheila laughed bitterly, tears glistening in her eyes. Oh, Hope. Always the defender of lost causes. Your father isn't some hero you're saving from the big bad wolf. He's choosing the shiny new life over the one we built in the shadows. She turned back to Deacon, her face a mix of defiance and resignation.
Fine.
If divorce is what you want, then let's make it clean. I'll send for my things. But don't think this is the end, Deacon. Not really. You and I, we're tied in ways no piece of paper can undo. With that, she planted a lingering kiss on his cheek, a goodbye that bore the weight of all their shared history, and walked toward the door, her steps deliberate, her posture straight despite the emotional storm raging inside. As Sheila left Il Giardino, the weight of her single future hung over her like a dark cloak. She was once a woman who thrived on deception and revenge, but now she was on her own, facing an unknown destiny. She had no husband to anchor her, and no imminent plans to keep her thoughts occupied. What should Sheila Carter do next? Will she sink into the background, or will the fires of her past rekindle? Los Angeles had never been nice to her, but she always found a way to fight back. For the time being, however, solitude loomed, bringing with it a strange and unexpected freedom. Back inside, Hope embraced Deacon tightly. I'm proud of you, Dad, for choosing happiness, even if it's messy. Deacon hugged her back, grateful for the encouragement. Thanks, kiddo. But this isn't going to be easy. Taylor and I, there's a lot of history there too. And Steffi won't exactly roll out the welcome mat. Hope pulled away, her gaze determined. Let them come at us. We've faced worse. Remember when everyone thought you were gone for good? You came back stronger. This is just another chapter. The subject moved as father and daughter sat at one of the empty tables, the restaurant quiet afterward. Deacon described the agonizing details. The moment he recognized his feelings for Taylor had progressed beyond friendship, the guilt that had consumed him during private moments, and the fear of hurting Sheila despite knowing the marriage was unhealthy. Hope listened closely, sharing lessons from her own romantic relationships. She had loved Liam Spencer with all her heart, only to see their relationship crumble beneath the weight of family feuds and misunderstandings. Love isn't supposed to be a battlefield, Dad, she murmured quietly. If Taylor makes you feel safe, fight for it. I'll be right here, defending you every step of the way. Word of the imminent divorce went fast within the interwoven web of Los Angeles' elite. Steffi Forrester paced agitatedly at the Cliff House after Taylor informed her of Deacon's confession. Steffi, always the protector of her mother's heart, had misgivings about Deacon's appropriateness. Mom, are you sure about this? Deacon sharp? With his track record, and that woman Sheila still lurking. Taylor, calm as always, smiled gently. Steffi, I've spent my life chasing stability in all the wrong places. Deacon sees me, the real me. And Hope, well, she's standing by her father. That says something about loyalty. Hope's support of Deacon did not end at Il Giardino. Later that day, she found herself in a furious argument with Steffi at Forrester Creations. The two ladies, who had previously argued over everything from fashion lines to shared loves, were now at odds over family loyalty. Your dad is dragging my mom into his drama, Steffi charged, her arms folded. Hope shook her head firmly. No, Steffi. Dad is finally breaking free from a cycle that was destroying him. If your mom makes him happy, why can't we support that instead of tearing it down? The argument underlined the underlying divides. Logan's versus Forrester's, old scars versus fresh beginnings. Despite the tension, there was some grudging respect. Hope's unflinching support for Deacon paralleled Steffi's intense guardianship of Taylor. Meanwhile, Deacon met Taylor in a secluded location with a view of the city. The energy between them was apparent, a gentle intensity that had developed over time. Sheila knows everything now, he said, bringing her hands into his. It's over. Officially. I want a future with you, Taylor. No more hiding, no more guilt. Taylor's eyes were filled with both hope and caution. She'd been burnt by love before, with ridge foresters never-ending back and forth. I want that too, Deacon. But we have to be careful. Sheila doesn't let go easily, and your kids. Hope is supportive, but what about the rest? As the day progressed, Sheila strolled the streets, her mind a flurry. Being single after her intense marriage to Deacon felt both liberated and terrifying. She reflected on her past, the manipulations, shootings, and redemptions that never fully stuck. Can she truly change? Or is turmoil her destiny? A part of her wanted to lash out, reminding everyone that crossing Sheila Carter was a mistake. But another part, exhausted from years of fighting, wondered if this was the universe's way of forcing her to start over. She went to a cafe, ordered a strong coffee, and gave herself a rare minute of meditation. Single Sheila, she said to herself with a sardonic smirk. Watch out, Los Angeles. Or maybe don't. Hope's day hadn't ended. She checked in with her brother, Deke, who had also learned of Deacon's hidden affair. The siblings connected by their mutual concern and support for their father. He's finally choosing himself, Deke stated, and Hope agreed. And we'll make sure no one bullies him for it. Their chat highlighted the changing relationships within the Sharp family, once split by absence and poor decisions, but now strengthened by tragedy. By dusk, the effects of the day's events had reached Brooke Logan. Hope's mother, an eternal romantic optimist with a protective streak, had mixed thoughts. Brooke had her own difficult history with Deacon, which included the birth of Hope. Sweetheart, I'm worried about you getting caught in the middle, she said Hope during a late call. Deacon's heart is in the right place, but Sheila, she's unpredictable, Hope told her, underlining her duty as protector. Mom, Dad needs someone in his corner. I've seen him at his lowest. This time he's rising. Deacon and Sheila's divorce was a formality, but the emotional repercussions was far from ended. Sheila's final words rang in Deacon's mind. It's not truly over. He knew she meant it, not as a threat, but as a statement about their connected souls. However, with Taylor by his side and Hope's unwavering support, he felt ready to face whatever came next. The universe of Bold and the Beautiful lived on the intersections of love, betrayal, and redemption. Hope's rush to her father's defense was about more than just one man. It was about breaking patterns, choosing growth over comfort, and standing firm when the ground moved beneath familiar feet. Sheila, heading into her solitary future, exemplified tenacity in the face of rejection, a woman who had always recast herself, whether as evil or vulnerable. As darkness descended on the city of angels, talks continued in living rooms and offices. Steffi told Finn about the potential issues, and Taylor allowed herself to fantasize about a steady love. Hope curled up with a sketchpad, sketching not only garments, but also envisioning a world in which families were repaired rather than torn apart. Deacon discreetly toasted new beginnings at Il Giardino, the restaurant that now represents both endings and beginnings. In the next days, tensions will definitely rise. Will Sheila genuinely step aside, or will her single status spark a new scheme? Could Deacon and Taylor create anything meaningful amidst the Forster-Logan feud? And how far would Hope go to protect her father from the criticism of people who only saw his previous mistakes? For the time being, on this important Thursday, the defense had been mounted, the future had been declared single, and the stage was set for even more heartbreaking drama. The characters of Los Angeles' elite fashion world continued to dance, bold in their emotions, gorgeous in their intricacies, and inextricably linked in ways that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Hope could sense the tension building long before the words were said, the type of weighty quiet that fills a room when too many secrets are vying for attention at once. Deacon stayed firm, but the pressure was mounting from all sides, and it was evident he was running out of options for defending himself. Accusations surrounded him like a maelstrom, each one sharper than the last, threatening to shatter the fragile tranquility he had worked so hard to preserve. Hope walked forward without hesitation, her voice steady yet full of emotion. She wouldn't let Deacon face the pandemonium alone. In her opinion, devotion was more important than mistrust, and she made it apparent that she believed in him, regardless of what others said. Her daring maneuver caught everyone off guard, altering the vibe in the room and prompting others to reassess their positions, if only for a moment. But not everyone was prepared to back down. Doubts lingered, and doubts regarding Deacon's decisions refused to go away. The past has a way of emerging when it's least convenient, and Deacon felt like every mistake was being brought back to light. Still, Hope's constant support offered him something he really needed: motivation to keep fighting. Meanwhile, SHEILA faced a different kind of reality. The prospect of a future without anybody at her side began to sink in, and for once, she couldn't ignore the loneliness creeping in. Her customary confidence appeared to wane as she realized that her actions might have finally pushed everyone too far. She was not easily convinced that she could stand alone, with no allies to fall back on. As emotions rose and loyalties were strained, the distinction between good and wrong grew more hazy than ever. Each character was forced to face their own truths, and the ramifications of their decisions began to play out in unexpected ways. With tension still simmering and unresolved problems hanging in the air, it's evident that this is merely the tip of a much larger storm. In a shocking twist, viewers are left doubting who they can truly trust.